single. I know. One of the best mods I think the FNF community has ever received. Ever. Like, let me just break this down for you. Hit single is unbelievably good. And I mean, from August 9th to 2022, all the way till now, of like, it was May, no, it was like April 29th, I think it was April 29th, 28th. It was one of the two. That was the day in the peak of Hit Single. Hit Single is one of the most mind-blowing games. I'm sorry, mods for FNF that would have ever came out. I think Trickle, Joyous, Darnell What Fart, Fake Baby, and Silly Billy are all amazing songs. The reason I sigh at Darnell What Fart is because they could have just kept it bold or brash. I'm not complaining. It's just didn't need to call it Darnell Wet Fart. But go ahead. It's their mod. I can't care enough to like change it myself. I'm not gonna be that person who's like, change the name. No one's gonna call it Darnell Wet Fart. People do. People unironically call it Darnell Wet Fart, and I'm fine with that. I find it strange because if I want to bring it up into a public conversation, it's weird for me to just say, hey, do you guys like Darnell Wet Fart from Hit Single? Like, that's an odd question, an odd way to ask it, but it's fine, I guess. Also, if you're wondering, yes, this is a new type of content. This is my first video trying to just talk about mod in a while. I don't do this a lot, so if you like it, just stay around and, I don't know, watch it all the way through. Alright, let's continue. Trickle. One of the first songs that actually released and hit single during August 9th, 2022. That day was also just nearly a month or 2 months after the original versus Sonic.exe mod had gotten canceled. Now everyone remembers Sonic.exe like it was just yesterday, because it always will feel like just yesterday. Versus Sonic.exe 1.0, 2, and 2.0 were one of the best things that happened to the community, but also one of the worst to happen. I like to think of Trickle as a send-off for versus Sonic.exe, because it made a lot of sense. It was Lord X's what felt like the last song, but if we go and look at images from planning development when they were actually talking about Trickle, not even, Trickle wasn't even in, I don't think. The songs in Lord X week were kind of messed up. I didn't like the way they were sorted at all. I think it was actually a horrible sorting. I don't like the way they did it. But we're not meant to be talking about Sonic.exe right now. We're meant to be talking about Hit Single. So let's get back to Trickle. Trickle has a very good way with its lyrics and the interpretation of the song. I love the lyrics. The lyrics for Trickle made me cry. I just think it's so beautiful. Like, Sturm, first of all, has a great singing voice. Shout out to Sturm for even making Hit Single happen. Hit Single, I'm pretty sure, was his main idea. But I still appreciate everyone else on that team, too. Everyone does a great job at what they do. Including Trickle. And Trickle, I have to say, for Lord X, I think is a good song. I think Trickle was a good song for him. It just feels so true to him for if he finally left this horrid body, I guess. Or his spirit finally drifting and decaying away. It makes sense. And the fact that he says, I'll always be a part of you, is something that means a lot. Because there's real meaning behind that. Being a part of someone forever as a memory makes sense. Because I recently lost someone, and they will always be a part of me. Okay, let's move on now. Joyous and Darnell Let Fart. They were both a part of the same update. Version 2, I would say, but I don't even think Hit Single comes out in versions. Because of the way it has so many updates, they don't really need versions. So I find it kind of cool that they just kind of release these things and then like people freak out because they're amazing. Joyous. Joyous, for example, is a really good song. I couldn't tell if the protagonist, the protagonist, sorry. If the protagonist was Alan from Lord X's story or if it was Joda Boy. Well, I figured out it was Joda Boy through the wiki. Shout out to the FNF wiki for that one. I didn't know it was Joda Boy up until the wiki. Like, I had to read a lot of the wiki. And I found out, oh my god, it's Joda Boy. I thought it was Alan, to be honest, because it made sense. It would make sense for his, the protagonist to be Alan, because in Lord X's story, that's the guy who he kills to make tails. So I just thought it made a little more sense than that, and I thought that for a long time. But to figure out it was Joda Boy, I don't know the reasoning behind that, but cool, I guess. Moving on. Darnell Wet Fart. Oh man, the stuff that happened between Darnell Wet Fart from like the making of it and then to it finally releasing, there was a lot that went on. Boulder Brash is technically its real name back before it had gotten moved into Hit Single. Hit Single had taken it over after it had gotten moved from Mistful Crimson Morning. Mistful Crimson Morning was another mod that had gotten cancelled, so they decided to just move it into Hit Single. And I think that was a good idea, because now we have it. And hooray, Darnell Wet Fart exists. I still prefer Boulder Brash over Darnell Wet Fart, but it's fine. The original story for Darnell Wet Fart I don't even think is real. Like, the guy's name, like, Starved Word, he's literally a parody of Starved. So, I get why he doesn't really have a story. On the Funkipedia, it says something, but I don't feel like reading that. And his name is actually meant to be, Starved Word is the Hit Single character. He's apparently separate from his actual character named Tethgida. I think that's how you say it. If I mispronounce it, I'll figure it out later. Or if you want to tell me in the comments how to say it, it'd be appreciated. Anyways, there's not a whole lot to Darnell Wet Fart besides Mr. Krabs also being there, and there was a scrapped character who was meant to be like Starved Plankton, who was meant to help him with the clarinet part, but they didn't even continue with that, so he doesn't actually do anything. He just sits there in the corner, just looking at you playing the whole time, and that's it. That's all there is to him. I guess we'll move on now. Fake Baby. I think Fake Baby is a really good song. No More Innocence and his representation in that song is just beautiful. Marco Antonio, also I think joining during around this time, around with Tricky Troy, are both great people to add to this wonderful mod. It just makes the list of people who work on this mod even more beautiful to look at. Like, we went from having just Sturm and a few other people to now having this full-fledged team. The No More Innocence update took a while to come out, because there was a very big gap between the Joyous and Darnell Wet Fart update to the Fake Baby update. Actually, the funniest thing about the Fake Baby update is that it came out on April 1st. Now, everyone just thought it would have been some big practical joke, and it wasn't a real update, so we all pushed it aside until people started looking at it, and then it was real, and oh my god, we just got the Fake Baby update. It was kind of unexpected, because it was like really late. Like EST-wise, it was late at night for that to be coming out on April 1st. So, it was kind of funny to just see Fake Baby drop out of nowhere. Good on you, Sturm. Great planning. I think he really wanted this to happen, though. I think that was his plan. He wanted to fool everybody to thinking it was an April Fool's, and then make it just something really cool. Shout out to everyone who worked on that, though, by the way. I loved it so much. Fake Baby is nearly one of my favorite songs. And now, but not least, we have Silly Billy. Silly Billy was one of the best things to end off the FNF modding era number 2, I would say. Because Friday Night Funkin' Weekend 1 update just dropped nearly the next day later. It is shocking that that even happened. Like, how do we have Silly Billy and then we have Weekend One? Like, those nearly coming out the same time, not the same time, but just a day apart from each other, is mind-boggling. Like, we just went from having Silly Billy, one of the best FNF songs to ever exist, to Weekend One, Wrecked remixes, Nightmare Mode finally being added, and so much more in the new FNF update. All just in the span of like 3 days total, I think. The FNF community was eating good. I do want to talk a little bit about Silly Billy, though. Silly Billy has so much to it. Just first of all, I do want to say, though, yourself, the character, he has fortunately moved on and is now passed along to a new creator, I believe. But Divide was the one who originally had made concepts for yourself. We love you and we miss you, Divide. You will always be in our hearts. Now, with that, let's get back to talking about Silly Billy. I think Silly Billy is just a great way, like the lyrics they had done for Silly Billy and the way they really get you is just beautiful. And the way you can hear Girlfriend singing with him during those last few words he says is just amazing. I want to admit this real quickly. I teared up. I was crying listening to Silly Billy. That's how good it was. Hit single, you made me cry. You're one of the few FNF mods that have made me cry. I know it's not an intention, but it just, I couldn't handle it. It was just so good. It's just the content that Hit Singles made over the last near 2 years now has been amazing. And I can't wait for more content to come out. If anyone's heard, Death Run was one of the songs for Hit Single. I don't know if that's still going to be in Hit Single, but I really hope so, because Death Run is an amazing song. And so was Silly Billy. So, I just want to say, Hit Single was a great way to really end this modding era, like era number 2, and move on to era 3. Era 3, I think, will be a whole new load of content. So with that being said, thank you for watching. And I just want to give a shout out to everybody who made Hit Single, and a special thanks to all my friends and subscribers who are out there always supporting me. I know you all have your own lives, and if you didn't feel like watching this all the way through, and you might have just skipped to the end or something, and if you didn't, hey, thanks. Thanks for watching my first video that exceeds more than normal content that I make. I know cover collections are a bit long, and I should mention, Ritz's Madness is getting stuff done. I might get some stuff done after I make this video. Who knows though? But I hope you all have a great weekend, a great day, great afternoon, great evening, and great night to all of you out there. But for now, that's bye from me. And I'll see you all later. And see you next week with my next video. Peace out.